So, tomorrow we have a recall vote.
The right-wing recall of all...
What you going to do?
The right-wing recall.
You're going to vote out the impending fascism, fam? And say no to the recall?
You don't vote out... First of all, you don't vote out fascism, you dolts. You said that when it was Trump, and like multiple times now, multiple elections. We need you to vote out fascism. You don't vote out fascism. Do you think these people are going to let you vote out fascism? Jesus Christ.
So, we've come up with the top 10 reasons to vote yes on the recall. We figured we'd give you some help because no matter what, at the end of the day, the establishment needs to be fired. I don't care if you write in a ham sandwich. I'm not picking a candidate. I am just definitely picking yes on the recall because Gavin Newsom has been awful across the board. And not only that, he's been put there for certain reasons. He's a political elite. So let's go over the reasons on why you should vote yes on the recall. I probably should have went 10-1, but we'll start off with number one. Number one. Johnny, you ready? Yeah. All right, let's go. Yeah. Gavin is Nancy Pelosi's nephew. Yuck. Only by marriage, but still. Enough with the political dynasty that has failed us time and time again. And there it is. He's Nancy Pelosi's nephew and part of the establishment. The Green Dream or whatever they call it. Nobody knows what it is. And I went to the Sun for this, and they're not related by blood, but they are related by
family ties.
Family ties and stuff like that. So I said California Governor Gavin Newsom is not related to House Speaker Nancy by blood, but rather by family ties. Newsom's parents, William and Tessa, were prominent in San Francisco as William worked as a judge in California. William's sister, Belinda Barbara Newsom, married Ron V. Pelosi in 1956 and established the tie between the families. Pelosi has a brother named Paul, who is married to Nancy D'Alessandro, who then became Nancy Pelosi. So there it is, fam. It's a political dynasty. Yeah. I mean, how long are we going to hand on to these political dynasties? Why are these people in California so keen on keeping Gavin Newsom?
Yeah, and I just want to say regarding that, I got a lot of progressives who are like, they're not really related. I consider my uncles and aunts who are married to my uncles and aunts to be my family. Whether blood ties or not, like, they're your family. You see them all the time. You can count on them for certain things, they're your fucking family. So just because it's not by blood doesn't mean it's not important. It's actually even worse because nefariously, you can tell this is planned. This is, again, you think you escaped the monarchy, America. It's the same thing. You have political dynasties. You have the Bushes, the Obamas, the Clintons, and these idiots. And a lot of these people, pretty much run California, which is the 5th largest economy. I mean, these people have got to go. Break up the dynasties. Break up these, neo-feudal monarchies that are existing in this day and age.
Yep. Number two. Or did you have something to say about number one, Johnny?
Just funny seeing all these progressives, Sunrise Movement or whatever, all these, DSA and everybody being pro keeping Newsom in there when, he hasn't done anything. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it for the environment.
So Gavin's number two is Gavin's whole political career has been supported by oligarchs that made their fortunes in oil and real estate, fam.
But the homeless
and
the environment, Larry Elder's just going to do away with everything.
Look at the guy with the suitcase of the money over there that Johnny put in it with the hat near the oil rig.
He looks like an Italian mobster.
He looks Italian.
He is. And if you wonder why Jerry Brown, we went and did Jerry Brown's Last Chance, the fact that he looked like, he was the clean environmental governor, you know what I'm saying? He was the green governor, but he kept on issuing gas permits left and right. Same thing with Gavin Newsom. Why? Because he's tied to them. He's been tied to them for a long time. And I even took an article from LA Times, which is even going to downplay some of his involvement because they'll talk about some of the money that he's made, but that doesn't talk about the money he was given for his wedding and all the inside stuff and the little cars and the kickbacks and the suits and all this other shit. So it says a Times review of campaign finance records identified 8 of San Francisco's best-known families as being among Newsom's most loyal and long-term contributors. Among those patrons are the Gettys, the Pritzkers, and the Fishers, whose families made their prospective fortunes in oil, hotels, and in fashion. They first backed him when he was a restaurateur and winery owner running for a seat on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors in 1998, and have continued their support through the governor's race. They are not Newsom's largest donors because Newsom also gets money from other places. Families in totals have given him about $2 million of the $61 million that donors have contributed to his campaign and independent committees backing those bids, but they gave while he was relatively unknown, providing crucial support to a political newcomer in the years before his campaign accounts piled high with cash from labor unions, Hollywood honchos, tech billionaires, and donors up and down the state. Fam.
Yeah, by the way, labor unions in here, especially in Los Angeles, a lot of them, unfortunately, entirely co-opted, entirely corrupt, entirely pro-Democratic Party establishment. That is how we got a lot of people that are currently heading the Democratic Party. Like, what's his name? Who's the current chair? He was
Gonzalez or?
No, of the California Democratic Party, not the LA.
Oh, you're talking about the guy who I'd rather watch grass grow. Rusty Hicks.
Rusty Hicks. He got huge support from labor.
Yes. And
that's how they do it. They co-opt labor. So labor isn't even like real, like the labor you think about back in the day when you were, Eugene Debs. That is gone. Just so you guys know. So when they're like, union support Newsom, it's that fucking establishment corporate type of union.
Yep. And like, once again, this is money just from, where you see campaign finance. This is not talking about the kickbacks he's got. There were reports that the Gettys gave about $250,000 for his first wedding with the girl, what's her name, Kim Gaffoli, the one who's a Republican now. I think she's part of the NRA and she's on Fox News or something. She was the one at the Republican National Convention. Come back, and she was being all excited by herself.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that was his first wife. Now he's married to a Hollywood mogul. And there's been talks about kickbacks and money, that are not reported, that you don't know about. So that's just that. Not to mention the insider trading and stuff, and the tech billionaires that give him money to make sure that everything's A-OK. Number 3, Gavin misled the public on the number of acres treated with fuel breaks as well as prescribed burns that would have helped prevented some of the forest fires, the craziest season we see right now. He also simultaneously divested in these wildfire prevention measures, fam. So he was telling the people one thing, but he was doing another. Here is an investigation from Cap Radio and NPR's California. Newsom's found the governor has misrepresented his accomplishments and even disinvested in wildfire prevention. The investigation found that Newsom overstated by an astounding 690% the number of acres treated with fuel breaks and prescribed burns, and the very forestry project he said he needed to prioritize to protect the state's most vulnerable communities. Newsom has claimed that 35 priority projects carried out as a result of his executive order resulted in fire prevention work on 90,000 acres, but the state's own data show the actual number is 11,399. So in other words, he said he was going to take care of these acres. Remember Donald Trump, the donkey? They're not taking care of their forests. They're not raking it. They're not making, you know what I'm saying? Like he was saying all this shit, and I looked into it. It's true. They have like actual places they burn so it doesn't get caught on fire and act as a match. And that's something that they need to do. So somebody looked into all the data to make sure all this work was done. They said they were going to take care of 90,000 acres. They found less than 12,000 acres that were actually taken care of.
And not to mention the infamous picture of him and Kamala Harris in a photo shoot as fires were raging. Like, oh, look, we're just going to go assess the damage here and take a nice little photo shoot with the Timberlands boots that she had. I mean, they didn't do shit. In fact, they've exacerbated it, as Pasta just said.
Yeah, and he got caught because they looked at the data and they're like, whoa, we got less than 12,000 acres you took care of over here. You said you took care of close to 100,000 acres. Your executive order, what happened? Well, we got a situation in California, fam, and it happens all the time where they say they're going to allot money for certain things. They never do the work, and phony bullshit contractors pocket the money. Gavin Newsom's always been a part of that clan. Just like the Clintons did in the Haiti. He did a lot in California. This is something that Maria Estrada pointed out in her own district that Anthony Wren had done. She's like, where's the money for this stuff? That's something that's common. So when you hear all these people go, oh, we just got Gavin Newsom and stuff to make sure that he puts all this money for these situations, you got to follow through and make sure the money hits its point. No bid contracts are a thing in California. Who are those no bid contracts going to? That's why more of the people have to be involved in the decisions that are made when it comes to spending the money, because you got corrupt politicians like Gavin Newsom who lie to you and tell you he was taking care of those forests to make sure that they wouldn't burn like crazy. We now have the second largest forest fire situation in California in history, fam. Second. And a lot of it could have been prevented had they done this work. And they got busted and called out on it. This is why one of the reasons why he should be recalled alone. Number 4. And this is my number 1 reason. And, you know, I made a little video last night. Johnny helped me out, plug a little music into it. All I did was drive around town. Gavin did nothing, fam. Nothing to slow down the homeless crisis in California. In fact, he made it worse. We now have over 150,000 homeless. And that's a low count. And that is 20% of the homelessness in U.S. right now. And I put up this little world population review where you guys can go check it out. If you just click on any state, it will tell you what the homeless number is. Look what you click on right there. 151,000. And you know those are low numbers right there. What's it in Texas? Click on Texas real quick. Texas has got 25,000.
Yeah, I mean, but
Florida's got 28,000.
Yeah, but with that, you also have to note that the Republicans there do push the homeless out of the state with spikes on the benches. They make it illegal for people to be there. They really do push them out to more liberal states. That's also part of it. But let's not forget that this has been a democratically led state forever. Yeah. And if they really wanted to fix it, they would have done something. A lot of that money in the years that I've been here has not been allotted properly to that crisis. Gavin Newsom is funded by real estate developers as well. He's not going to do shit about this at all. I mean, he's got, you know, Hollywood. He's got all these people that depend on developers and investors. He's not going to fucking do shit about it. He hasn't done shit. So don't bring me in, Larry Elder's going to get rid of the minimum wage. Like, no, first of all, you're assuming Larry Elder's going to win.
But he got money for Project Key.
And yeah, for Project Room Key. These people, like, don't want to be in a cell, okay? Nothing has been done the way it should have been for homelessness, right? California, it's a large city. It's going to have more homeless in other parts of the country. However, the way they've handled it has been an absolute disaster.
Yeah. One of the reasons for the homelessness that you see there is bad workforce, right? Like, we don't have a great workforce. We have to be clever. We have to find a way. And Project Routine was also a short-term solution. Mm-hmm. When you're overpaying these hotel rooms, once again, they made a lot of money in hotels, this family, right? So they know these hotel owners. Yeah. So now they give these people, okay, we're going to give you $150 per night in a shit hotel that they normally would get $75 a night. They double up the cost, you know what I'm saying? And the state gives them that money. And then they do these stupid programs where they don't give these people their freedoms, knowing that they're going to push them out. And then a lot of conservatives go, well, they had an opportunity to do something. They didn't freaking handle it. No, we haven't presented a good solution for this situation. And the real estate lobby, right? Also, too, as well. There's a profit motive off of homelessness. And that's something that Gavin hasn't done anything about. I made a little video yesterday. It's on my Twitter, guys. All we did, me and Glory Jones, we drove around one part of downtown L.A. for 10 minutes. And it's just homelessness here, homelessness there. In Pasadena, I noticed new homeless people running around. This is the thing that pisses me off the most. It's sad. You want to throw it on real quick?
You know, one of the saddest things about California, despite it being super majority Democrat, is that it has the largest homeless population in America. Over 150,000 homeless in California, and that's by low standards. And Gavin Newsom hasn't done anything to help the situation, and there is many things he could have done. Number one, he could have took money and allocated directly to the homeless, got people off the streets. He chose not to. He could have denied big real estate money and not worked for the oligarchs that have always made sure that he stayed in power. And now the situation is worse. So why would we do this? Why would we allow a man who has failed miserably at his job to continue to stay in power? I mean, all you have to do is head to the streets. Get in your car, go out there, drive around LA, drive around downtown. The homeless number is just growing every single day. Did Gavin Newsom call for a state of emergency? Did he directly do everything in his power to make sure these people can get off the streets? No. So why, I ask, why would you let this man stay in power? Like I said, all you have to do is get in your car and drive out into the streets of LA and see the problem for what it is. I say it's time to fire Gavin Newsom.
Ay. Fam, you know what it's like. You drive around here, every single bridge. Every I mean, look, guys, we just did this for 10 minutes the other day, just driving around downtown LA. It's disgusting.
It's an epidemic. That's an epidemic. We should 100% be worried about that. That it's an epidemic, and they're not doing anything to fix it. They know that at this point, it's almost impossible to fix.
And also, too, I don't want to put that all on Gavin Newsom. Also, there's been a lot of other establishment cuck Democrats that have led to this shit, too, as well. You know what I'm saying? That have allowed this situation to pile up and pile up and pile up and pile up. And now, look at it now. Just look at it. We're a super Democratic majority here, and we can't fix this problem.
Yeah.
Why would you give any of these establishment Democrats a chance to continue to stay in office? If you can throw them out on their ass and send a message, why wouldn't you do it? I mean, what would happen, fam, if voting did matter and voting was fair and we could vote out Gavin Newsom, what would happen then?
They would have to switch their ways to do something for the people. But because you always vote and protect them even when they fail you or when they screw you, then they're never going to do that. So, I mean, I just can't. Like, I don't understand, like, there's no logic behind this. It's literally team sports mentality, partisan politics. And fuck PSL, fuck DSA, and all these progressives shilling for Gavin Newsom, knowing he did absolutely nothing but make things worse just because you're afraid of the Republican boogeyman yet again. 6 years after, we've done this over and over again. I am so done with all of you.
Number 5. Gavin is part of the establishment, and the cucks have all come out for him. Bernie, AOC, Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. And the only thing I got to say to this, look at Johnny, that's a great. No thank you, hard pass. There's the laugh. Look at him with the cup of coffee. There's Green Bombs. There's Zombie Joe. How do you guys continue to vote for these people? How do you guys continue to support these people? It's so crazy to see you supporting all the other bullshit out there, but how do you support these people? They've done nothing for you. At what point are you going to push back and say, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not voting for you. You're giving us nothing, whatnot. How long until the scare tactic of, but if a Republican gets it, it's just awful. No.
I honestly don't think they're going to do it until it's too late. Like, I don't know.
When it's raining down on us, it's like, maybe we should get him out of there and stuff. You've gotten the best Gavin pictures, dude. You made him look like
he looks like a villain.
Look at this one. Number 6. Gavin is for vaccine mandates. And that's something that's disgusting. He advertises on his Twitter. There was also this report. It was kind of a lot of people, and I don't want to, once again, I want to be understanding when I say this. He gave $1 billion, close to $1 billion, to this Chinese company to produce masks. Now, aside from the fascism of the vaccine mandates, why didn't we use that money to get people off the streets first? Right. I mean, that's my question. I know a lot of people are going, see, the Democrats are in bed with the Chinese. That's not what I'm trying to fucking say.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is that we didn't prioritize first and get people off the streets. And secondly, are you telling me that we can't find a fucking place in the United States that can manufacture masks for us? I mean, wouldn't that have been a great opportunity instead of sending $900 million over to Chinese to say, let's open up some factories here in California. Let's get some of these homeless people jobs, make it masks.
Give them jobs, Yeah.
We don't have no jobs for them. I just found the fucking job.
They're part of the community helping, with that whole thing.
No,
right?
It's real estate developers, investors, That's what it is about. Well, I mean, it's a business deal.
But fams, it wasn't safe for homeless people to do this job. to make masks for Americans
Right.
or Californians. What fucking condition could be more unsafe than being on the street without proper fucking...
I'm trying to stop a pandemic, but we're not gonna help the unhoused, right? Like,
yeah, and a lot of people were on both sides of the aisle. They tried to be really quiet about this deal. They didn't answer a lot of questions. There was actually some leaked emails they got a hold of. It was really a secretive deal. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I can't stand. You got a lot of Republicans, the patriots of sorts, going, "See, I told you he was bought by the Chinese." That's not the fucking point.
the point is that money should have been allocated to
Elsewhere.
a million other things that could have been allocated to.
Elsewhere. And once again, if in fact you're going to do that, why wouldn't you take all those homeless people and give them a job making masks? Cause and effect, fam. Cause and effect. Number 7.
Maybe somebody he knows is invested in that company.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what.
It's just fucking dumb.
It happened with the PPP loans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, the money went to fucking the Lakers and fucking hotel chains and shit. So fucking Stanford University got it. Like, okay, they need it. Now here's a big one. And this is really deep. Gavin failed to expedite unemployment money, to California residents in a timely manner, despite being rewarded $9 billion from the federal government. Guess what? That money is still sitting in a bank vault in D.C. while California citizens are about to be homeless, and Gavin Newsom has been fucking silent on this. He won't call out the Democratic leaders, his little fucking cucks up there, okay? This money is sitting there. And how is the EDD fucking working right now? It's awful. You know what I'm saying? You still can't get them on the phone. And they talked about this. Those personal issues, along with other problems with technology like aging computers and mainframes, could be solved in part with the money EDD is supposed to get from the federal government. That help was supposed to arrive along with the stimulus checks paid out by the Biden administration in form of money to help fix problems with the country's unemployment departments. $9 billion. It's been months since the bill passed. None of it has been paid out. Okay?
None of it.
None.
And then there's a certain percentage that has been paid out.
Well, you got this one I believe he's an assemblyman, or he's what is he? Let me make sure I know what he is. I know he's part of the all right, he's California 10, right? In Congress.
Mm-hmm.
It says the fact that EDD answered fewer calls in May than they did in March is just absurd. The entire system is broken, and Valley families can't pay their bills because of it.
And that was in June of this year.
And that's the truth. Every month, they answered less calls.
Yeah.
Harder was already frustrated with California's EDD. Now he's angry with the Department of U.S. Labor. That money is still sitting in a bank vault at the Department of Labor, and they haven't given us any timetable of when it's going to actually get out the door, Harder said. That's unacceptable because there needs to be a sense of urgency around solving these problems, and I'm not seeing that. Even if you can do finger pointing towards the federal governments, this debacle continues to happen on Newsom's watch and remains unresolved on his watch, and Gavin doesn't even bother to address it. You should be on TV every day. Why hasn't the government sent me my fucking money? Californians need help here. We have people on the streets. We have people who are going to be thrown out on their ass. Send us that fucking money, Joe Biden. You're friends with Kamala. Make a fucking phone call and get that money here. But no.
Protect Gavin
He's
Newsom.
he's relative with the fucking Speaker of the House.
And we don't have our fucking money?
Jesus
Oh, God.
Christ.
This is a good one, guys. I know you're going to like this one. Gavin is anti-press. He vetoed SB 629, which would have protected journalists from being harassed by the police when covering protests. How is this not fucking fascism?
I'm sorry, the pictures are cracking me up. The hearts between him and Villanueva.
He fucking vetoed it, guys.
He vetoed
He
it.
literally fucking vetoed it.
Because they're in bed with each other. They don't want the fascist tactics by the police to be recorded because the police protect them.
But we gotta vote for the lesser of two evils.
Yeah. How is this not fascism?
But we gotta vote for the lesser of two evils.
Now all those people who show up at the Black Lives Matter protest protecting this fucking asshole.
You're protecting fucking Villanueva.
Yes.
Sheriff Villanueva and all the cops who literally go after protesters and journalists. So all cops are bastards unless a Democrat says something about it. Then it's cool.
If somebody's out there filming for your protection and a cop hits you over the head and an independent journalist went and caught it, right? Wouldn't that be helpful? Wouldn't that keep the cops in line? The press is supposed to keep the security state in line. And then the more press they see out there, the more cameras, the less likely they'll do something because they know there can be some form of accountability.
Which is what happened with Josie Wang.
Exactly.
Which is why she made this tweet, which says that Gavin Newsom just vetoed a bill passed by legislators to protect reporters who cover protests. It would have barred law enforcement from, quote, intentionally assaulting, interfering with, or obstructing these duly authorized representatives. SB 629.
And that was in 2020.
And that was in September 30th.
Yep.
Almost a year ago.
Yep. Johnny, if you want, I did put the link there to the California legislation. If you look down number 3, vetoed by the governor. Right there. Right there. He vetoed it. He vetoed it.
He's going to stop fascism, though.
Media access. Yeah, he's going to stop fascism.
Yeah. Impending fascism right here.
But just because he sucks doesn't mean we should vote in another. No one's saying to go vote for fucking Larry Elder. Fucking.
Well, some people are saying that, but not a lot of us.
I wonder how Larry Elder would have felt about that thing right there. Put him on the spot. Ask him if anybody gets a chance. Let's see. Does he believe in a free press? That's the thing.
He'll probably say yeah, but then he would probably do the same thing.
Maybe.
I think Elder's part of the establishment too.
Maybe. Yeah. He's definitely part of that whole fucking patriot crowd of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a news guy.
He's a puppet. He's a puppet. I'm telling you, he's a puppet. He's not anybody. He's no revolutionary or anything.
I wouldn't vote for him. No way. That's just me, though. Do what you want to do. Like I said, I'm going to write in a ham sandwich. I might write in Johnny's Dolphin or ham sandwich or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of people. There's a couple people I'm thinking about voting. I don't know. But I'm definitely voting yes on the fucking recall. Number 9, Gavin's an elitist who doesn't follow his own rules. We all remember his rules for thee but not me, right? Right after making his speech, the moment in the Napa restaurant. Oh, there he is, telling people that they shouldn't gather. They have to be outside, no more than 6 people. And then later on that night, he's caught in a fucking room, right? In a room with over fucking about 12 people in the room in Napa Valley. As we reported Friday, California Governor Gavin Newsom broke his own coronavirus rules by dining with a large group of people consisting of members of more than 3 households. While he apologized and attempted to justify his behavior by saying it was an outdoors party, new information has surfaced. Fox Los Angeles reporter Bill Meliguin obtained photos from a woman who was dining at the French Laundry restaurant in Napa, California on November 6th. The same evening,
this guy, by the way.
What's that?
Fuck Bill.
Yes. The same evening, Newsom attended his 50th birthday party for his longtime friend and well-known lobbyist, Jason Kinney. The woman asked not to be identified, told Meliguin. Malugan, whatever the fucking.
He's not Latino.
He's not French.
Not Meliguin?
He's some white guy.
Well, you got the pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
There is a video. We don't necessarily have to play it, but, everybody knows.
Yeah, we've seen
Everybody knows about this shit. The guy literally gave a fucking speech telling people not to fucking, gather in big groups and whatnot. And then later on is out at Napa Valley eating. There he is. I mean, it's just fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
There it is. Literally. Are they wearing masks? Are they close? I could see a woman going in there like, so you want some coronavirus here?
That's the bourgeoisie. Telling you can't do what I do.
Exactly.
But fascism.
And number 10, Johnny, I'm going to let you take this one over here since you pulled this out.
Because this is a pretty big one. Because according to the Constitution of California, according to Article 2, Section 18 of the California Constitution, if the recall fails, Gavin shall be reimbursed by the state for the officer's recall election expenses legally and personally occurred. And I'm going to show you guys the Constitution here. So what was it? It was Article 2, Section 18.
Mm-hmm.
So we come down here to Section 18. Blah, 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 blah. The Constitution of California says that a state officer who is not recalled shall be reimbursed by the state for the officer's recall election expenses legally and personally incurred. Another recall may not be initiated against the officer until 6 months after the election. So there you go.
Maybe he did it on purpose, Johnny.
So
to raise money.
basically, he's gonna he's gonna gain money when fucking the people of California need fucking money to fucking
Yep, he's gonna
get the shit
rich.
done. We already covered over $10 billion of fucking wasted money that he did, right? The masks plus the what was the $1 billion? I forgot.
The $1 billion was the mask.
The $9 billion.
It was a $900 million.
Anyways, no, $9 billion in unemployment.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. My bad. He's been a total disaster. You know what I'm saying? There's other things. You know, at first when I was starting this thing, I was like, you know, I don't even know if I can come up with 10 reasons. Then I had like 14 reasons, and I had to shave off 4. Like literally, the guy's been just terrible when it comes to the forest fighters and the environment. He's got big oil lobbyist money behind him. You know what I'm saying? He's got big Hollywood behind him. All these executive fucking families, these elitist families. You know what I'm saying? It's like they just keep on going in. It's like your turn, my turn, whatnot. Don't tell me that elections are fair. Don't tell me that elections are fair. How do these cucks still get in? And how can you fucking progressives stand here and say that you should put this man back in office? I mean, how stupid can you be at this point?
Dumb.
The Santa Clara County Republican Party fam, 5 reasons to recall Gavin Newsom, just to take a look at these things. It's kind of interesting because I was like, I wonder what the Republicans, everybody says this is a Republican thing. So it says rules for you, not for me, right? So we talked about that. Okay, we're there too as well. We kind of look at that as like, oh, he's an elitist. No leadership, no solutions. Gavin Newsom said homelessness was going to be his top priority. They even see, you know what I'm saying? 150,000 homeless. I mean, they're right there. Lies and deception. This is something we didn't put in there. The school lockdowns, whatnot. Fraud and incompetence. We talked about the unemployment situation. He's also, you know, I mean, that was the thing. There was supposedly some people got benefits and paid outs with the PPP and unemployment that shouldn't have got it, and they're looking towards him. And 5, unequal treatment of small businesses from big businesses. We didn't talk about this one. Under extreme lockdowns, more than 19,000 California businesses have closed, and millions of Californians lost their job, leaving California with one of the highest unemployment rates in the nation. Small businesses got fucking crushed under Gavin Newsom. And if you're going to close down the place, you're going to lock the fucking place down, you better have solutions for these small businesses. That's what Republicans are always small businesses. But can you argue with them here? How many small businesses did we see crying, going, we didn't get the PPP loan. We're waiting right now. My landlord's over my head. I'm going to close my doors. I don't know what the fuck to do.
And that ruins a lot of working class people, marginalized communities, etc. And by the way, the small businesses are the ones you want to kind of work for, because you don't want to work for a corporation, because when you are a server, a bartender, a retailer for a corporation, you're just a number. You're replaceable. But when it's a small business, you kind of have more of you know your boss, you talk to them. There's better treatment. You're less of a number. So the eradication of small businesses is literally ruining people's lives. It's causing so much stress on people. And as somebody that has worked in that industry, I just think it's a complete disaster the way he handled it, the way Democrats never mention small businesses or differentiate really between those and corporations, and all the giant corporations who got so much money that public outrage forced them to return some of it, because some of the smaller businesses didn't get any of it.
Yep. A lot of small businesses didn't get any of it. You know, some did eventually, and thank God it came, because it saved a lot of small businesses, but there are a lot of small businesses equally that didn't get it and have closed their doors. Something else I want to point out too as well, you know, we point out the fugaziness of elections on a regular basis. Obviously, you know, I think, my personal opinion, I bet you're probably there too, is that they're not going to let Gavin lose anyways.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But there's something I want to encourage. I want you to encourage to do what Fee says, take direct action, and I want to encourage you to continue to vote. Because if we do, by some God's grace, get it fixed, we want to have the practice of continuing to vote and getting our news out there, our information out there anyways. However, we're already seeing fugaziness happen, and this is what we're saying. Cynthia McKinney hit it on the nose, right? For me, my number one thing, and this is something that Garland Favorito in Voter GA California, has now implemented it into their words, right, into their language. Is we're going to eliminate proprietary software, and that's an important thing. However, the thing that Cynthia McKinney said was so important because Jonny can tell you when he looked to get involved with the ballot committee, Jonny, I want you to tell us what happened, that it's also done in closed doors by establishment candidates and the public is not invited, right, to see a lot of these things. In fact, I think Jonny said that they're not even allowed you to bring cameras into the room coming up, whatnot. So they're trying to push out the public even more from getting involved. We need the public to take full control of these elections.
Right.
No more independent contracting groups. No more outside sources that are just getting hired for part-time work. It needs to be done for and by the people. So we got to continue to push to get our fucking noses in there to say, no, we want to be part of the ballot selections. In other words, how these ballots are made, who gets these contracts. We want to be informed and all involved in the chain of custody across the board. We want to be involved in the tabulation machine. We want to make sure we understand why there are holes in ballots for a special election that you can actually see how a person voted for, which is a big no-no. So we have to push our way in through the door to say we need to be involved, especially in California where they're pushing everybody out of the door. And even in fact, they've made it harder now. Alex Padilla, on his way out the door, to his way up to the Senate, he made it harder for people, citizens like ourselves, to request information on the voter poll booklets. Now they put that whole decision into the election board certified, whoever's at the head of the board, the election process, which will be the Secretary of State, and what was he? Alex Padilla, his position.
He was Secretary of State.
He was the Secretary of State,
Yeah.
and also, I think they'll kick it down to a lot of Dean Logans, like board supervisors or all those positions.
Jeff Kleins.
Either way, they've made it harder for American citizens, for people in their states to request information on these polls so they can see what's going on, and that is a huge problem. KTLA 5 saw something that's going on. This is going to be the problem when you have mass mail-out ballots. You're just looking.
But
for problems.
again, it's not voter fraud. It's
election fraud. Yeah.
Court and Rick, this is quite a story. Good question. What is going on? We spoke with several concerned voters here in the West San Fernando Valley who believe something wonky had been going on at places like El Camino Real Charter High School in Woodland Hills. This place opened up as an early polling location, open 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily, but several people tell us they showed up to vote this morning in the special California governor recall election and were told that computers showed they had already cast their ballots. So what? Staffers, they say, were apologetic and helpful, but those voters we talked to are extremely concerned, suspicious, and wanting answers. California native and current West Hills resident, 88-year-old Estelle Bender, spoke with us just a short time ago. What happened today and how shocked are you?
Very. I went to El Camino High School to vote, got there at 10:30, gave her this, and she scanned it and said, "You voted." And I said, "No, I haven't." And she said, "This has been happening all morning." The man next to me was arguing the same thing. So as I left, I did the provisional ballot and left. I was just really angry, and I saw two women walking toward me as I left, and I said, "Don't be surprised if they tell you you've already voted." And she said, "They've already done that." If I voted, how did I vote?
And who did you vote for?
Well, I asked the couple, the young women that I talked to, and I said, "Are you by any chance Republicans?" She said, "Yes." And I said, "Well, so am I. And so are the two friends that had the problem at VFW." So.
Makes you suspicious.
I would think so. And still, I'd like to know how I voted.
Oh, fuck this. Oh, Pazzo, you see this? The voters who experience this issue were offered and provided a provisional ballot. The fail-safe option to ensure no one is turned away from voting.
Yeah, they don't count those guys.
The fail-safe option.
It's actually the fail option because that's how you know they're not going to count that.
Look what it says, though.
Provisional ballots are regular ballots.
No,
and once the eligibility of the voter is verified, they are processed and counted.
They're not regular ballots.
They're not regular ballots because the eligibility of the voter has to be verified.
Yeah.
And we've been in the room where they verify that, and it takes like extra steps to verify it.
Yeah, and
so,
a lot of times they don't. Most of the time, actually, they don't verify.
There's no way in that room for what we saw that they would count
no
half the provisional ballots.
Not even half.
Not even close. So don't act like it's a
No.
ballot that is counted. It's not.
Guys.
It's got to be verified. And who is verifying it? Once again, we talk about that independent contractor. These people, right, Johnny? They get hired. Like they don't even. You could see there's no energy on their face. They don't
This
fucking
is just
care.
A job.
They're there for a check.
Yeah.
We want people who got invested fucking clout here, baby.
No, this is already a rigged election. 100%. It's already rigged. I mean, from the envelopes to this to the fact of who's in charge, it's already done. I mean, it's a done deal. It's all. I mean, I'm doing it for, the big, like, fuck you to everybody. I want to make it known that I'm voting for the recall. Yes, on the recall. That's why I'm doing it. I am under no illusion that this election is going to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, you're seeing it right here. You go back and watch multiple videos. We've talked about provisional ballots since Bernie's fucking election. Like provisional ballots, guys. It's nothing has changed. They're literally telling you that it's the same thing when it is not, and we have verified here that it is not the same thing.
And you stupid fucking progressive cucks. This is the same tactic they used on Bernie Sanders in 2016 and in 2020. You fucking idiots.
Yeah, and they're gonna use it on your next favorite progressive next time they run. And
how dumb can they be? How dumb? You'll never get a grassroots candidate in fucking office.
Never.
A
real one, not one that doesn't capitulate.
Fucking working for the same people you used to fucking despise and hate. When it comes to the boop boop and when it comes to elections, you are lost. Whitney Webb was right. They are laughing how they divide us.
Yeah.
Laughing. And you guys are taking it. They're just saying right there, provisional ballots, guys. That's what they did to Bernie. They did this in 2020. You can see Matt Donovan was there that night where I almost got fucking arrested and thrown out of a goddamn place. I don't want to say he almost got arrested, but they were saying get out of the room. They were pissed at me and stuff because I was causing a fucking commotion. You go to East LA in the poor areas, all the machines are down, and they're telling the people, we'll just fill out a provisional. It's the same thing. When that person earned the right to have a vote that was casted and counted immediately, and yet you're going to do this. Then you go over to La Cañada over there, right? And they're giving you tea and crumpets, and there's plenty of machines and whatnot. They force you into a provisional ballot because they don't want your vote to be counted.
And the last thing that I put in this section, Johnny, it's Bernie's tweet. Yeah. And because Bernie said 3 hours ago, right? He went out. He said 3 hours ago he went off, and he said, the
Should
attempted.
I do it in the voice?
Yeah, you say it, and then
The attempted recall of Gavin Newsom is a bold-faced GOP power grab. If we have any hope of addressing climate change, really, Bernie, guaranteeing health care to all, and passing real immigration reform, it cannot succeed. California, return your vote no in person by tomorrow.
Return your ballot or vote no in person.
What did I say? Return your ballot or vote no in person by tomorrow, September 14th.
Right. I went off on Bernie. I said, the GOP isn't the only one recalling Newsom. It's many working people, many of your own ex-supporters, far to your left, who fucking voted and donated to you even when they didn't have money. And you repay them by pushing establishment politicians. You're a disappointment and a fraud. And I don't think I've ever been, I don't think I've ever called Bernie a fraud until now.
Well, he's a fraud, fam.
So,
it sucks. It sucks.
There's that.
It sucks.